Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Business, Life and Other Bollocks. I'm your host, Mike Dunn. Today's guest is co-founder of a two-woman powerhouse recruitment company called We Are Proper. Is that the word?
That's it.
Yeah. Their business was established roughly 2 years ago, was it?
That's right, yep.
Yeah. She's a mother to a little boy whose name is?
Bobby.
Bobby, yeah.
Yep.
And she has done an incredible journey of setting this company up and, in my eyes, disrupting a market which is very corporate, very numbers driven, very male driven as well. So yeah, I'm really excited to have Sophie on the show. Sophie, welcome. How are you feeling?
Yeah, fine, Mike. Thanks so much for
You are
inviting.
more than welcome. It's brilliant to have you on board. Sophie, obviously I've mentioned a little bit there about who you are, what you do, but for those listening, just talk to us a little bit about what We Are. Is it We Are Proper?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So our company is We Are Proper. We set up, as you say, just over 2 years ago, and we didn't actually set up as We Are Proper. That's been a recent rebrand.
It was Booth and Hardy, was it?
It was Hardy Booth Recruitment,
Booth,
yeah. And it was Hardy Booth Recruitment because we literally couldn't think of anything else. We're not very creative. So we'd cut and run from our last job, needed to start earning money quick. So it was literally a shit, let's just set something up on Canva and go. We didn't necessarily think the business would be a lifestyle business per se, but we were definitely at the point where in our lives we wanted a bit more of our balance. You know, we've both been in recruitment for about 12, 13 years each. And it has been typically that industry where it is 12, 13, 14-hour days, being whipped with a stick, targets. And that, it was great. Like, that's how you cut your teeth. I think in any industry, it teaches you discipline and, credit to all previous companies where it's been like that. But, it gets to a point where you're a bit older and you don't want to do that anymore. So we wanted to, still work harder and well, but certainly have some sort of balance. However, as the business neared its first birthday, we were like, we've got so many plans. This is changing. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And then very, very quickly we realized, actually, this isn't a lifestyle business. This is something we are dead passionate about.
Well, you set a company up for one of three reasons. Someone said to me, it's comfort.
Yeah.
Because it's a comfortable thing to do. Legacy, leave to your children, or to sell on.
Yeah.
And you can't have all three.
No.
And a lot of people set a company up because they think, oh, you know what, I can do this on my own. I'm probably the world's worst fit. Set it up thinking, I can do this.
Yeah.
Like, I'll fucking work from home. I'll work in my back bedroom. Won't be a problem. And then you fast forward 6 years later and you go, holy shit, I have got more work coming at me I can handle. But I wouldn't change that.
No, God, no. And it's testament to what you do, isn't it? People trusting you to do that work.
Do you find with recruitment, a bit like sales, obviously we specialise in lead generation and telemarketing, and you feel the anxiety of people when you say that on the phone? You go, oh, I'm calling from Next Level. We specialise in telemarketing, and you kind of feel this fucking... Oh, they think we're the ones calling them when they're watching The Chase, trying to sell insurance. And by the way, no problem to people that do that.
Yeah.
I've done it before.
Yeah.
But do you find with recruitment, if you're cold calling or canvassing, if you like, do you get that as well?
Absolutely. You can literally feel someone shudder on the end of the phone. And when you meet someone in person, like at a networking do, and you're like, oh, hi, I'm Sophie, I'm a recruiter, you can see them trying so fucking hard not to roll their eyes.
Yeah. I could say what you say. But if you turn around and said, oh, we are responsible for placing the last millionaire in that company, then everything changes, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
It's like when you see people, I was guilty of it, and you go, what do you do? I'm in telemarketing. Oh. What do you do? Oh, I'm a corporate VIP business development SDR fucking magician. They're like, oh my God. And you've just changed the title.
Absolutely.
So it's a bit like you're changing your title of your business, isn't it?
Yeah.
You go from that to that. Did you feel a change when you changed that? Did you feel like you'd stepped away from maybe more personal to more corporate branding?
Completely, right. Yeah, like honestly, I can't tell you what the rebrand did, not just for the business, but for Sarah and I as well. So like, I guess a nice example of that is we've been going to a local networking event every month, literally for nearly 2 years now. One of us has been to every one. We love it. Funnily enough, it was at that event that we met the guy that we worked with to do our rebrand.
Yeah.
So
by the way, can I just say the rebrand? the logo, the mission statement, which we're going to touch on in a minute, which I really like. It's really nice. It's smooth. It's crisp. But I don't think it's mad in it because you've rebranded, but you haven't actually changed your identity and what you want to do, have you?
No, we haven't at all. I mean, I think that the main change in focus, I suppose, was when we set up as Hardy Booth Recruitment. The idea was that we would be industry agnostic, um, sales, customer service, operational
Mm.
type roles, multi-industry, and actually, we realised very, very, very quickly that as non-marketers who are winging it anyway,
Mm.
to be industry agnostic, you've got such a fucking huge audience.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
can't appeal to
No,
everybody.
no.
And, people would say to us at networking events, like, "Oh, who's a good introduction for you?" And we're just like, business
Yeah,
owner.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
That's
it's
what
not
everyone says.
memorable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
just wasn't memorable. Anyway, we were so fortunate that when we hit our first birthday, we sat, did some reflecting, and actually, God, about 90% of the revenue that we'd done in the first year was from the property industry, from
Mm.
clients that had followed
From
and
your previous
supported
role.
us,
Yeah.
on our journey, which is, again, a massive compliment. So we were like, well, let's just stop fighting this. This is
Mm.
obviously what we're good at. This is obviously where our network is strongest. So,
Yeah.
so that's when we, just decided, I guess, to just niche back down. And with that, we were like, we need to start talking more to the property industry. We need to make our messaging a bit better, more appealing to,
Mm.
who we actually want to work with. So we were like, oh, well, we'll just, get back on Canva, freshen up the logo a bit, add
There's going to be
colours.
people in marketing going, fucking
Literally.
Canva.
Well, yeah,
Fucking
fucking
Canva.
Canva.
Canva is fucking. I will argue the toss. I love Canva.
It's brilliant.
Yeah,
Okay.
and if you're starting off in business,
Yeah.
and the thing is, there's some companies once again are going to hear this and
Yeah.
go, "I charged him £500 once, and I did a Canva fucking," and I know you did because I found the fucking template, by the way, right? But Canva is fantastic.
Yeah, and it's better than the Chat GPT posters we're seeing everywhere at the moment. Oh
Yeah,
my God, they're
I want to
nice.
touch on this
Yeah,
because you're
well,
very authentic. But one thing I did was,
yeah.
and something that I picked up on was do you think a lot of people have followed you because you've scrapped the corporate playbook and
Yeah.
people are sick to fucking death of it?
Absolutely.
When you say scrapping the corporate playbook,
Mhm.
so tell me what that is.
So there's a few things really. So I guess me and Sarah, so we're a two-woman band. We
Powerhouse.
Powerhouse. Yeah, let's go with powerhouse. So we're a two-woman powerhouse. We know that, certainly in our current state, we can't dominate a market. There's only two of us. We don't get me wrong. We've got plans to grow in terms of revenue, not necessarily headcount. But there's only two of us, so there's only so much we can take on, and because of that, we have to be selective with what we take on and who we work with. So we do have a pretty strict criteria. We don't work with corporate companies, first and foremost. So all of our clients are founder-led, owner-managed SMEs.
Okay.
And the reason that we have done that is because, again, just playing on our experience. And let me just scale back. When we were setting up and we were like, right, who do we want to work with? How do we want to position ourselves? We almost, we sellotaped a load of pieces of paper together and put it on the floor, and we scribbled down a load of what was in our head, and we almost came up with a bit of almost like a breakup letter to the recruitment industry, like all the things that we hated about it.
That's fucking genius.
It was great. It was such a good exercise, and even though, as I say, the first year was a bit of a fumble just to kind of get going and almost taking on anything, and we still had an idea of this is what we're aiming for, and these are our morals, and these are our ethics, and this is what we want to do. And certainly for me, working, like, my background has been in financial services, so I've recruited for all the big banks, all the high street banks. And my biggest bugbear with that was, we'd get a new role on from HSBC or whatever, and it'd be like, right, cool, briefing call Tuesday, 3:00, and you log on and you're one of 12 recruiters on that call.
Jesus Christ.
Honestly, and and I appreciate wanting to cast your net, but that was ridiculous. So you kind of come off this call and be like, right, well, I've not got any relationship with the hiring manager. I don't know the why. I don't know really the purpose of this job, what the impact they're going to have on the team is, what's in it for them. I've literally got a job spec, and knowing that I'm against 11 other people, it's like fastest finger first. There's just no point.
And I suppose you're all, if you're only in that area, CB Library, Bullhorn, all these, you're only for the same people, aren't you?
Well, exactly.
And if there's 12 of you, where's the logic in that?
Well, this is exactly it, because at that point, all you can do to But any chance of earning a fee is literally to get on Indeed and CV Library and whatever, and you're only pulling active people off then. There's nothing wrong with active candidates, of course not. But when you are up against someone like that and your only
Yeah.
chance of getting a fee is just by submitting a CV first, I think it's careless.
Mm.
I think it's not hiring for longevity.
No,
It's
no.
literally ticking a box.
Yeah.
And you just can't get into the depths of it. So we weren't prepared to do that
Okay.
when we set up
Which is
again.
admirable because a lot of people would think, fuck it worked last time, why not keep carrying
Well,
on?
this is it. But how much did it work? Because, yes, I was getting a salary and yes, I was earning commission, on other roles that I was filling. But the amount of time that I would put into recruiting for the likes of HSBC, for instance, Barclays, whatever, and it might have changed by now. I haven't been in that market for a while, but the amount of time I put into it versus the amount of commission that the business and I got out of it, it was probably at a loss.
Jesus. Did you
It's
tell
just
them
not
that?
effective.
Did you
Yeah,
feed that back?
absolutely, absolutely. I was like, well, this is ridiculous. But that was just the way it was. So, we certainly didn't want that to be. We didn't want to be busy fools. We wanted to be making an actual impact and building
Well,
relationships with
and
people.
it's clear that you have. You look at the success that you've had online, and you've got a lot of roles going on. But the one thing I had here was, you run on heart, humour, fears,
Yeah,
and
plenty of
dogs,
them.
and
Yeah.
dogs, right? But how do you maintain? Because every business has a target. How do you talk? How do you maintain that the straight talking human culture without letting strict KPIs ruin it?
It's a really, really good question, and we don't set ourselves KPIs.
Right.
We feel, and again, this is a sweeping statement, but I do think it's based on a lot of time in the industry
Hmm.
that when you are being whipped with a stick and you've got to make X amount of calls a day, you've got to register X amount of people a week, you've got to send this many CVs, you've got blah, blah, blah. I believe that the person at the heart of this recruitment process
Hmm.
becomes collateral damage.
Right.
They are a means to hitting a target. And if you speak to candidates and they're like, oh, I spoke to so and so and I felt like I was commissioned, like people say those words and that's shit. Because I think what a lot of people can forget, and I certainly did in my younger years, and it was all about hitting targets
Yeah,
and
yeah,
earning
yeah.
as much as possible. Of course it was, and cutting my teeth. But, the older you get, you have children, you have a mortgage, this, that, and the other. You don't fuck with people's jobs.
Or
This is how,
livelihoods,
exactly.
or families.
Exactly, or people's businesses.
I could just quickly, I'm cutting
Yeah.
out. A couple of years ago, I had a recruiter, and they might hear this, and I hope
Mm,
they do. They told me, so we moved into a flat,
right.
and they told me I had this role, and I was like over the moon. So I
Yeah.
said to my wife, I said, "We got this role, it's all looking good."
Yeah.
And they said, "You start in 2 weeks."
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going on. They said, "I'm going on holiday."
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So I start getting stuff together. A week goes by, don't hear anything.
Yeah.
I think, what's going
What's
on
going
here?
there? Yeah.
Next week, oh yeah, I'm still waiting to hear back from your start date's been pushed back. So in the end, it got to the point where 3 weeks went by, and I'm going, I've got rent due. So
Shit.
I phoned the fucking company, on my own accord. I'm going to phone them.
Yeah.
We told him we weren't filling that role anymore.
Oh my God.
And I sat there and thought, is this a fucking...
Yeah.
So I had a massive gripe then with recruitment because I was like,
Yeah.
and he then approached me about recruiting for our company. And I thought, I would
Are you
never,
kidding
I would
me?
never fucking, yeah, I would never fucking trust you. So I'm so happy to hear that. In the same breath, our business has a very small division of recruitment
Mhm.
because we know the industry like the back of
Yeah,
our
of
hands.
course.
And our fees are probably peanuts compared to other people.
Yeah.
So we don't need to charge 25, 35, 20%. And you see
Yeah.
a lot of emails come through from recruitment saying, we'll do this one off 15%. And I think fair play.
Yeah.
But when I went live with it, there was a company who I know once again might hear this.
Mm.
And we started getting quite abusive comments on our posts. I wouldn't get out of bed for that.
What?
And we were like, and this person, this owner of this business was a head of like West Chamber of Commerce, whatever the fuck it was. And I actually contacted them and said, is this what you're promoting?
Yeah.
Like you're degrading another business
Online. Yeah.
I don't give a shit what your rates are. Just
Yeah.
find people a job. Like you said, you are fucking with people's livelihoods. You are messing around with people's families. They're what puts food on the table.
Absolutely.
So if you are gonna go a bit lower,
Yeah.
at least you're doing the fucking job.
Absolutely.
But in the same time, you have got to make sure you're hitting margins, haven't you?
Of course we have. Absolutely. And, we don't get me wrong. Of course we have revenue targets that we know we need to hit, want to hit, would be fucking brilliant to hit sort of thing. But, what we won't cut corners on our morals and our ethics because it just, as I say, I don't know if this has come with age or what, but I know, well, just the from running a business, how hard it can be in those tight months and, when it's a bit squeaky bum time. I know how frightening that is for me.
Mm.
So why would I inflict that on somebody else?
Yeah, yeah. And I think that also comes with another part of the conversation we're getting onto. It becomes being a parent, doesn't it?
God, yeah.
Because you start understanding what is valuable
Yeah,
and what is important, and
absolutely.
how would you want your children to be treated.
Yeah.
There's a people say don't treat staff like children, and
Yeah,
blah blah
yeah,
blah.
yeah.
And I get that, but it starts at home, doesn't it? And how you treat
Of
them,
course it does.
and
Absolutely.
that's a big thing, which we're gonna come back to.
Yeah, sure.
You're obviously mostly in property, but what I want
Mm.
to know is what is actually happening in Manchester and Cheshire property scene right now. Are there really independent firms looking for talent?
Yeah. Oh God, absolutely. It seems to be a little bit quiet at the moment,
Mm,
which is no bad thing. It's the market, isn't it? It's always volatile in property, but you only need to get off the train in Piccadilly, walk out of the station to see that actually,
yeah.
wow,
Well, the
this is the
northwest
place to be for property.
northwest at the moment. I mean, the government announced the northwest construction boom. I
Yeah.
think it's 4.2 billion going into the northwest.
Great. Yeah.
Why do you think A, builds are behind, and
hmm
B, people are struggling to buy and sell houses at the moment, if that's the case?
Yeah, well, I think what we found a few years ago certainly is that Manchester was and still is, cheaper than the likes of London. Um, and we had a massive boom in and around Manchester in off-plan investment sales.
Mm,
So, the big developers put in, building fantastic blocks of flats in the city
mm,
centre, and you've got agents who are selling these units before they've been built. And kind of when it was booming a few years ago, like it was booming, like
mm.
so many overseas investors were really interested in investing in Manchester in the off-plan space. Buying off-plan has its benefits for a few reasons. It's generally a bit cheaper, faster deals, that sort of thing, but it comes with its risks like bills being behind and this,
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
and the other. So, it swings and roundabouts. But I think the notable difference between unit prices in London and Manchester made
Mm,
Manchester really, really exciting
mm,
for investors. We've found now we're at a point actually where the off-plan market is really quiet, because it has become more expensive. It's not
mm.
it's not as exciting as it was a few years ago. But what's picking up at the moment we're finding is tenanted investment
Right.
sales. So with the whole renters' rights bill that's come in,
Big changes there.
big changes there.
Do you think that's just quickly cutting in
Mm.
there with the renters' rights? Do you think that's because people are struggling and they need to make sure people are being kept in homes?
Yeah, I mean, I've listened to loads of webinars on this, and I went to the NRLA conference in
Mm,
Liverpool. I think it was last year, and it was before the bill had come in, and obviously that was the hot topic of the
yeah.
conference. And actually, don't get me wrong, it's a ball ache for landlords, and it's a ball ache for landlords in a time where we need landlords more than anything because
Yeah.
there is a housing crisis. They're not being built fast enough, and
Mm.
then they're making it really, really difficult for landlords to continue to be
Well,
landlords.
justify being a landlord. And
Exactly.
at one point when I was younger, I used to hear people saying, "Oh, I really want to get into property
Yeah.
because I can make my money." And now you see on LinkedIn, you see on Instagram, Facebook, I've got 40 properties, I'm selling them all
Yeah. Yeah.
because of these rights.
Absolutely.
But on the flip side of the coin, we've both rented properties,
Yeah.
right? We know how hard it is to try and find somewhere to live.
Yeah.
And I know people that have been dealt a really shit hand before and been
Yeah.
told you've got to get out in a month,
Yeah.
and they've got kids and they've got nowhere to go.
Absolutely.
So,
So yeah, like I don't necessarily think it's come from a bad place, but I think an awful lot has been piled on landlords recently, and the whole making tax digital thing is a massive thing that's impacted landlords as well. So it's just like they've had a load of shit piled on them in really, really quick
mm,
succession, But I think before the bill came in, and it's only still very recent, so I've not spoken to too many people yet about the impact it's actually having.
mm,
But beforehand, people were the kind of consensus was, look, if you're a good landlord and you're doing everything properly, then yes, there's going to be changes. You're going to have to do a bit more work. I would highly recommend if you self-manage at the moment to get yourself a good managing agent, to protect yourself. Obviously, with that comes a fee. So this is where they're being squeezed. But generally, if you're a good landlord, you'll be fine.
and
This is to weed out cowboys and
yeah,
chancers and people that do treat the tenants like shit.
Well, do you think student landlords are a part of that then? You were a student yourself, right, in Chester?
Yeah.
And what was your landlord like in Chester? I don't want you to. Don't.
What was my? Oh, I'll tell you what my landlord was like in Chester. Bloody hell. Do you remember? I know. Did we know each other when I was in my first year?
No,
When I lived on opposite the George and Dragon pub.
no.
No, we didn't. I think I started working at the bar my second year, didn't I? Anyway, my landlord in my second year, she was absolutely lovely. She
Yeah.
was so nice. And like what she did used to do was come around unannounced, which wasn't ideal. But she
Not when
did
you're in university.
no. But she did used to bring cakes and stuff, so whatever. And then
She's still going.
oh God, she's here again. But she was nice.
You stood there hungover and fucking brownie, like, go in, Sue. Just fucking look out, man.
I'll take it. But oh my God, my last landlord, I got onto them not so long after living in that house, and I was like, I can't remember the names now, but I was like, oh, there's mushrooms growing in the shower.
Yeah, we know, it's part of the furniture.
Literally, she was like, oh, have you picked them off? I was like, no, of course I'm not pick the fucking mushrooms off. She was like, well, just pick them off and see if they come back. So I did, and guess what?
They came fucking back.
Yeah. So yeah, the last landlord wasn't as good. You know, and you expect student digs to be a bit minging, but fucking mushrooms growing in the shower. No,
I mean, they grow in ours, and we're not students. I just thought they were part of the. So Sean needs to do some cleaning. I'm fucking dead. No, I love how we've gone from recruitment to mushrooms in the shower. Fantastic. Yeah. So obviously, you're saying Manchester, Cheshire's booming. Are they the only areas you cover, or do you cover everywhere?
Yeah, so we cover Manchester and Cheshire. We are not adverse to covering a little further afield, maybe Merseyside, maybe Leeds. We don't yet. But again, I guess just going back to kind of our criteria, we won't work with anybody who won't meet us face to face.
Okay.
So, and we personally don't want to be traveling to Scotland, to London, to Birmingham every other week. So we like to keep things nice and local, so that we can actually meet our clients, meet our candidates, and as well, me and Sarah, that's where we're from, you know. Apart from living in Chester for a few years, I've always been in and around Manchester and Cheshire. So that's where my personal and professional network is. So it just would make sense for us to stay local.
Yeah, absolutely. And is Sarah Manchester as well?
Yeah, so Sarah is she's Wilmslow way. So
yeah.
And that's where our office is, which is nice. So
Wilmslow's lovely.
Yeah, it's dead nice, and just a great position for us, as I say. We kind of straddle town and Cheshire. We're perfectly in the middle.
It sounds to me, a few other people, like you're very people first person.
Yeah.
Why is that so important to you?
I think it's the outcome of a long career in recruitment, and now being our own boss, we know what we want to do. We know how we want to do things, how we want to be referred, how we want to be known. You know, it's our company. Yeah, it is a recruitment agency. That's what we do, but we really, really don't like to act that way, the typical way. We do feel like we're challenging that 100%.
Yeah, 100%. You're disrupting it. I suppose as well, just to sort of go off that beaten track there, you're a mum as well, right?
I am a mum.
And your little boy, Bobby, right? He, if you don't mind me saying this, he's neurodivergent, right?
He is.
Is it autism?
Yeah. So he was diagnosed autistic when he was 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was very, bless him, obvious from a very young age that he was different.
Okay.
So yeah, he was diagnosed autistic when he was 3.
Okay.
He's currently non-verbal.
Okay.
Oh, well, do you know, I think I should start switching it to pre-verbal, because I feel like one day he might talk to me. And he has, I don't know if you're meant to say this anymore, but he does have learning disabilities. So he is 4, but cognitively he's not 4.
Yeah, I get you. My brother, my mum will listen to this and she will relate to this. So my brother's autistic. And, my mum and dad are his full-time care workers. And there is a lot of red tape over what you should and shouldn't say. But the way I see it is, he's your child. So
Absolutely.
you address it however the
Well,
fuck you
that's
want.
it. Yeah, and it doesn't offend me, and it is what it is. You
Mhm.
know, he's not he's not able to learn in the typical way that we all do.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you know, therefore, it's learning disability in my eyes. But yeah, so I have Bobby obviously 4 years ago, and he has. Oh my God, he's completely changed me. It's don't get me wrong, mate. It's been the fucking hardest thing in the world raising a boy that is so different
Mm.
and not typical, and I've had to learn so much so quick.
Yeah.
And you know, I dreamt of being mum when I was pregnant, but I'm not just mum. I'm carer, I'm advocate, I'm some horrible woman that has to shout at the local authority all the time to fight for his fucking basic needs.
I think there's going to be a lot of people listening to this that are going to come forward and say, my mum will, and say, I know exactly what
Exactly
you
what I
mean.
mean.
And I
Absolutely.
do want to touch on this, but what my
Yeah.
point was that you're such a Bobby's like the apple of your eye, you know,
Yeah.
he's a gorgeous little boy. And I know recently you went to school with him, didn't you?
Yeah.
Such a powerful post, right?
Yeah.
But that must relay so much into your work
Yeah.
because you just said then you're arguing with the authorities to get the proper
Yeah.
attention
Yeah.
that I still to this day don't think is right.
Mm-hmm.
Whilst you're running a business and trying to get people into their proper jobs.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's a crossover, right?
Yeah, massively. Absolutely. And it's you know, I think Bobby has taught me more about life, about being a better person,
Mm-hmm.
about advocacy, about having to stand up for yourself more than in 4 years than my 13 years
Yeah,
in recruitment. He's
100%.
made me stronger, kinder, better. And for that, you know, I'm not very like, I wouldn't class myself as a spiritual person at all, but I
Mm.
do believe I was meant to have him.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he
That's
was
such a
meant to end up with me and my
that
husband,
is
obviously.
such
Not just
he'd be
me, guys.
listening going, I'm on that fucking
Yeah,
podcast.
I'm sorry, Adam.
And you've been with Adam for
I've been with Adam. We've been together 10 years this
amazing.
year.
And you've
Yeah.
been married for
4?
four,
4?
four?
4, I think.
He'll answer.
Yeah, I think it's 4.
So Bobby he got married then Bobby come along or
Yeah, no, other way around. So we had Bobby first. So we were meant to get married in 2020, but
Yeah.
obviously COVID cancelled that 3 times. So
Yeah.
we sacked it off in the end and just like, right, let's just carry on as normal. We got
When
married
it
at a
sounds right,
later
it sounds
date.
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he honestly, like I say, it's been the hardest thing that's ever happened to me. It's been the most upsetting thing that's ever happened to me. But I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change him. It's a really strange mix of
I
emotions.
think, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, yeah. You're right, you were meant to have him.
Mm.
He was meant to come into your life.
I think he was, yeah.
And that's why Proper
Yeah.
is doing so well.
I agree.
You can see the passion and emotion you have with your company. And knowing you personally, you can see that relate into him.
Yeah.
And that is such an incredible to be able to handle running a business while having a neurodivergent son. I mean, like I say, my brother's autistic.
Yeah.
My daughter's got ADHD.
Yeah.
But I know you've been through some challenging times.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that you fight is just so commendable. So honestly, kudos to you. And
Thank you.
I hope there's someone listening to this that maybe can step forward and say, what do you need?
Do you know, and that would be lovely, or someone that could step forward and say, I feel that too. You know,
Correct.
and you know, another beautiful byproduct of having Bobby actually has been this Sen parent community that I obviously didn't know existed. You know, meeting people that are going through what I'm going through.
Yeah.
You know, and I've always obviously I post a load of stuff on LinkedIn. I like to try and be personal as well as professional on LinkedIn.
Apparently people buy from people, though, right?
Absolutely, that's what I've heard.
But then people piss and moan that LinkedIn is now social media.
Facebook.
Well, what do you want us to do? Because if the same people that say people buy from people are the ones going, this isn't Facebook.
Exactly.
This isn't Instagram. I don't want to see your selfie. I don't want to see your holiday pics. Then fuck off.
Doesn't it make it so much more fun?
I posted a photo the other day of our business, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, we're doing this, and there was like 2 likes, one from Sean, one from Scott, and the other. Well, I photo with a fucking dog, 35 likes. Oh my God, you got such an amazing dog with connections, messages.
Yeah.
So like, I'm always stuck between a rock and a hard place over what I should be posting on LinkedIn because you get the moaners, and then you get the people that fully agree with it.
You do.
Where do I stand with this?
Yeah, I know.
And I think for for yourself and Bobby,
Yeah.
what's your partner's name? Sorry,
Adam.
Adam.
Yeah.
You, it's right to be posting on a platform where now more than ever people are
Yeah.
talking openly and honestly about the support they need. Because
Definitely.
where else are you going to go
Well,
for it?
this is exactly it, I don't post, I'm not like an active real poster on Instagram or whatever, but I will share things that I've seen, or, I'll talk about Bobby, or oh my God, if we ever get a video of him actually saying words, like
Yeah,
that's
we need to
straight
see
on
that.
my Instagram story because it's
Absolutely.
so magical. And I've had people, like I've joined, like, I don't really use Facebook as much anymore, but
Mm,
when Bobby was really little and I was searching for that community. I joined like send mum groups and this,
yeah.
that, and the other, and actually, it's beautiful. Like I say, I've met people that I would never have met, and we've been brought together because of our funky kids, and there's a real community, and people going through it want to help other people going
Yeah,
through
yeah.
it, and that's just been a really lovely thing.
And do you feel like having that experience has made you more empathetic, more of a better leader when you're meeting people?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And as well, I just feel like I don't want this to sound really depressing. But I feel like people can't hurt me because I've got a son and he's never said mummy. Do you know what I mean? Like that is the biggest sadness that I live with. And this is, I'm hopeful that one day he will. But it's like, just I may as well just go out there and be my true
When he does, you
self.
let us know,
Of
right?
course I
Straight away,
will.
and
Oh
get
my
him on
God.
here so we can hear him
Yeah,
say
so
it.
he can,
Yeah.
yeah, he can record his little podcast. But no, and I just feel like because of that, like I've in my world, and people have gone through and are going through so much worse, but in my world, that's the saddest thing that's happened to me.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, nothing hurts me that much. So
Yeah, yeah.
I can just go out and do what I do
Yeah.
and be me and do things my way. And if you don't like it, like it's really, really cool because nothing can hurt me more than that, So I know that's a really depressing point, but it's actually,
No, because I think once again, there are gonna be people who hear that and go, "Oh my god, you've come on here to tell your story,
yeah, yeah,
and it is called business life and other bollocks."
yeah,
And bollocks isn't just business, it's life.
yeah, of course.
Everyone needs a bit of support.
Yeah,
And, someone like yourself, I don't know, I wouldn't know where to start other than hoping that you get the support you need. I'm sure you will, because 'cause you're
yeah.
a fighter, right?
Yeah, 100%. And and I think as well, like nowadays, for instance, you specifically saying I wouldn't know where to start. And I'm sure this is something you do anyway because of your brother. But what I would love to see from people who, own and lead businesses and they lead other people is to be making sure that, there's space for neurodiverse people in their business.
Okay.
Like that support that I want to see. It doesn't necessarily impact me or Bobby directly, but like, oh my God, your last guest on here, the longevity doctor, like
Got the Tom.
I was hanging on every word that he says because and I bet your mum feels this and has felt this, like it keeps me up at night. What's going to happen when I die? Like, who's going to look after Bobby? Because no one can look after him like me. I
Yeah.
know him the best. I can read his mind. Nobody else can.
Yeah.
That kind of keeps me awake at night. Um, so yeah, God, listening to Dr. Tom was absolutely well, it was really appropriate actually, for how I'm feeling in my life. But
Yeah.
but it's things like that. I feel like and all SEND parents worry more about their very young children's future than parents of typical children
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
do at
yeah.
this stage. And I mean, I know we all worry, of course we do. But like, what happens to Bobby? After school. If he doesn't talk, will he ever find work? Will he need lifelong care? This, that, and the other. And it's those worries that I have for him, and we'll find our way. Whatever will be, will be. That's cool. But I would just love from all this, autism awareness, neurodiversity
Mm.
celebration, things that happen. For me, or I would just love to see more businesses implementing that, making more space for everybody.
How would you, and so lovely to hear this, but you're a business owner, so you're always thinking of ways to incorporate, and, how would businesses do that? Talk me through that.
There's so many different ways, and I was actually at like a seminar thing on Tuesday that was talking about this exactly, and we heard from some incredible. They're all women actually, women who work for quite large corporates. There was law, there was construction, was a play therapist. She was incredible. And they were talking about the kind of EDI stuff that they do in their business. Obviously, these are businesses with bigger budgets, so they can run like actual kind of committees and societies and this, that, and the other. But something that I thought was really, really powerful that any business could do was the power of storytelling. So, for instance, you as a business owner with ADHD,
can you tell?
I can.
I think everyone can. I'm sitting, my legs go stop.
Yeah, there's no surprises there. But like, obviously, for instance, for you, I don't know. I mean, did you suspect it yourself, or was it when Scarlett came along?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking the question. Yeah, I think. I mean, I don't know who wouldn't suspect it.
Well, yeah,
I think the thing is now. Cheeky bastard. I think ADHD, neurodiversity now, and autism. There is more awareness than ever. I go back to when my mum was younger with my brother Chris.
Yeah.
And yeah, he went to a school and he had respite, but there was never as much attention, love, or care as there is now.
No.
Like mental health.
Yeah.
Okay, and I want to touch on that in a minute.
Yeah.
But I always had a feeling, because I'm dyslexic as well.
Right.
I can spell, but I can't as well. Like I rush everything I write. Like I'm scribble everything down. But I'm very inquisitive about things. I love movies. Like I love films. So I watch a film, but then I have to watch the making of a film, and then I have to learn. And it's like my fucking. And I think maybe that's why I set this up, because I'm obsessed with like the theatrical side of it.
Yeah.
Like Sean hates plays, but I fucking love.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not many people would think that.
I wouldn't.
But I love art. Like I love watching people sing. Like I even love like classical music. I love all things like that.
Yeah.
Which is pretty mental coming from a bloke sat in his bar having a beer with a podcast called Business, Life and Other Bollocks, right? But I think that's the ADHD side of it, and that's the opposite side of it. Like I'm very hyperactive and very want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
But I also love to just listen and just take it in. So I think there's always been an element of me knowing I had ADHD.
Yeah.
But I think when Scarlett come along and Sean suspected it straight away, she was like,
did she?
She kind of clicked on straight away, and then I went with her, and we both sort of got diagnosed at the same time.
Yeah.
And I think once that was done, a lot of underwhelming questions came to light.
Yeah.
And then I sort of noticed the way in which I handled certain situations made sense to what was being told to me.
Yeah.
So I suppose I always sort of had a feeling it was there.
Yeah.
I remember being in school and I hated being in school.
Did you?
Spy school.
Yeah.
I think the teachers despise me. In fact, I think a lot of people in there did. But I could never pay attention.
Yeah.
There were certain classes I loved doing, but I just fucking hated school.
Yeah.
I mean, what did you go to? What did you do in uni?
So at Chester, I did history, and then
You must become a history teacher.
I don't know why. I just wanted to go to uni, Mike. I just wanted to waste 3 years.
What was the best of uni
before
like?
it got real. It was mint.
Yeah.
So good fun. Absolutely loved it. But it was great. I absolutely loved it. Great people. Chester's just a mint city, isn't it? But it is. Well, I think I felt like I'd just outgrown it. Towards the end, so I left. So I did history at Chester, and then a few years later, I did my master's in business administration, which was really cool. That one's definitely been more useful than my history degree.
Yeah, I haven't got any GCSEs.
Yeah,
none at all. No qualifications. I think that's the thing about business, right? And you said before you worked in recruitment for so long, and you grew a passion for it. So you end up growing a passion for a business, and you always sit back and you go, I think I can do this better.
Yeah.
And in your eyes, what's the biggest lesson you've learned since setting up the business?
Ooh, that is a great question. I'm
full of them.
You are full of them. The biggest lesson I've learned since setting up our business. I don't know. Do you know, that needs a bit more thought, but the first thing that comes to mind is just to be completely and unapologetically authentic.
Well,
Um,
we're going to touch on something.
oh God.
So, hang on.
Okay.
Where is your? I found it the other day. It was about what your ethos is.
Oh yeah.
No, what is it? Uh, oh wait, I've fucking lost it here. Right, in your job. So this, and for anyone listening, guys, I'm going to include this in somehow into my T's and C's. In your job disclaimers,
Yeah.
you explicitly write no fluff,
Mhm.
no pushiness,
Mhm.
no knobheads. Now that sounds brilliant. I know I like it. That does sound brilliant on paper. But have you actually had to turn away a massive high playing client because they violated the no knobheads rule?
Yeah.
What was that like?
Painful, obviously, from a revenue point of view.
Why were they knobheads?
It was a client that we worked with very, very early on, when we were still Hardy Booth. And they the person who was in charge, who was our contact, was not appropriate with the staff we were putting in there.
Oh.
We can't do that. I'm a mum.
Okay, well,
I can't do that with anybody.
So that goes back to what I was saying before.
Yeah.
Is shaped you. Would you, before you had Bobby?
Yeah.
Would you have maybe, would that no knobheads rule have gone in? Because it seems like you've rebranded and incorporated this at the same time as. Do you feel like there's a sort of cross in it?
I would really, really, really like to think that, yes, my morals and ethics would have stood strong before we founded Proper. However, when you are employed, you are working for somebody else, and they're paying your salary at the end of the day. So you can absolutely kind of stand your ground and this, that, and the other, but you've also got to try and keep your job as well, and I feel very lucky though that I can't look back on my 13 years in recruitment and think of any really horrible situations where I've been forced to do the wrong thing, because none of the companies that I've worked for have been inherently bad companies.
Right.
From every single company that I've worked at, I've got friends.
Yeah.
For life,
Yeah.
and I'm so lucky, and that's a testament to my managers that were hiring the teams, and why I joined. It was always because of the people that I was going to be with.
Would there not be people listening to this saying, "No, it's also a testament to you and your personality"? Because I've known you for 13 years, maybe longer actually.
Wild.
15 years.
Yeah,
and I've always known you to be like the happiest person I've ever met in my life. Even when you are having a shit day, you smiled and got on with it. If I'm having a shit day, I just want to sit in here.
Yeah.
And drink a lot of gin.
Hey, look, I definitely have those days.
Yeah.
God, ask Adam, poor bastard.
Yeah.
When it's low, it can be really low, but I do just try very hard to smile. Even when you don't feel like it, and I do it when I'm running. Like, if I'm in the trenches and I'm running, I'm just like, right, just smile, and I'll smile like a weirdo.
So running's become a big thing for you, hasn't it?
Mike, it has saved my life.
I like that.
Honestly, it has saved my life in so many ways. I've always had a bit of an on-off relationship with running.
Sorry, when I say I like that, I don't mean...
Yeah, well,
I don't mean how bad it was. I like the fact you found that self-care.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. And not just self-care, but again, another community that I didn't have before. Like, I've always had this on-off relationship with running and the gym and fitness and this, that, and the other. And when just before we set up Proper, found myself, I guess, just in a bit of a rut health-wise. I put on loads of weight. I wasn't getting to the gym because I just didn't have the hours in the day. I was drinking. Was I drinking more? Probably. I was drinking. I was on my vape. I never put my vape down. And do you know what I mean? And I just got myself into a bit of a rut. And when we set up Proper and I had that flexibility, I kind of looked in the mirror and I was, oh, heck, this isn't me. I've got myself into a bit of not a mess, but this isn't me. I'm not taking care of myself the way I always have done. So shifted a bit of weight with a coach. So I use a personal trainer and I have done for getting on 2 years now. And then as I started to not have as much weight on my knees. Running became much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
And there's where I live in a little town called Poynton, there's a cafe called Cafe Azul, and they make the best cappuccinos and almond croissants you'll ever have. So
A
I was
little
a
shout
regular
out
there.
there.
Oh, honestly,
Yeah.
Cafe Azul, massive.
I'll have to
Um,
give it a try.
you must. It's the best. And they started a run club.
Okay.
Um, so I messaged my friend and I was like, "Do you fancy going to this?" And he was like, "Oh, all right then." So I went, as I say, nearly 2 years ago, I think. And 2 years on, as I say, I've lived in Poynton pretty much my whole life, apart from, as I say, stints in Chester and living in
Yeah, yeah.
Manchester. I've got more friends and I know more people now in the place that I've always lived than I ever have done.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've got a whole new social circle, a whole new, load of people that where we support each other, we challenge each
Yeah.
other. I started taking running seriously, as I say, when I started at the run club, and at that point, running 5K was a challenge. And I've obviously recently just done my marathon.
I've
So
seen that, yeah, it's incredible,
yeah,
and I think that's such an important thing because I was in a similar situation.
hmm
So back in 2020 when we set up, I found myself in so from, like, March to June, obviously COVID hit, and I'd set the company up and we lost all of our clients, so I worked for
right,
free. Found myself fucking doing stupid TikTok videos, which to this day, but passed the time,
yeah.
and I made a bit of money from it, so fuck it.
Hey, happy days.
And I think it was about 3 years ago, I really looked at myself and I thought, "Oh my god,
hmm
what the fuck have I done?"
hmm
Like, and it was just a light bulb moment. So I started going to the
Yeah,
gym first thing in the morning
yeah,
before work.
yeah,
I had to be there,
yeah.
and it's been the same ever since. And I think it's like 2.5 stone now down
Wow.
since then.
Yeah,
And I've got my brother as my personal trainer,
real.
who's been on the show as well. Um, and I think you're right. It's not that you it's hard to explain. You look at yourself in a different way, and I've noticed this. I go to the gym in the morning, and when I go to the gym, my brain is like supercharged.
Yeah.
Do you get that way of running?
Totally. Like that is my if I've had a shit day, I will go on a run. And as I say, right at the beginning of my running journey, it was about losing weight. And it was much more for me of a as a what I see in the mirror
Yeah,
sort of
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
But as I have fallen in love with running, it's my escape for an
yeah,
hour.
yeah,
I don't know if this is a weird thing to say, but I love how repetitive running is. Do you know what I mean? I'm just 1 hour, one foot in front of the other.
mm,
I just know what I'm doing for a whole hour.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that is dead nice. No nasty surprises. I just know where I'm going and what I need to do for an
Like
hour.
almost therapeutic.
Very much so.
And I know people who listen to the show that are runners, and I bet
Yeah.
they'll be able to relate to that as well.
100%. And it's just being outside for an hour as well. You know what it's like when you've been sat at your desk all day and it's like, bloody hell, it's getting dark. I'm not seeing the outdoors today. And
Mm,
it's getting out there and that does so much. But now, as I say, at the beginning, it was very much about kind of aesthetics and how I felt like I looked. But now it's about longevity, being healthy, making sure I'm around as long as possible for Bobby, making sure I'm strong enough to lift him when he needs lifting.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
he's a big boy and he's
yeah,
only 4, and
yeah.
and because of the way he is, like for instance, I can't say to Bobby, in the car, go on, climb in. He doesn't understand that.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I still have to lift him into the car, lift him out of the
Yeah,
car.
yeah.
If we're going, if it's bath time, for instance, I can't say to him, right, come on, time for a bath, because he doesn't understand that. So I have to carry him
Your
upstairs.
brain just must be fucking working. You must just be no wonder that hour is your
Exactly.
respite, right?
It is absolutely
Do
that.
you get any respite for him?
Not at the well. He goes to nursery 5 days a week.
Okay.
He's been going to nursery, bless him, since he was 7 months old, and he fucking loves it.
And that's his normality, right?
Absolutely. He loves it and he loves the people that are there and they love
Amazing.
him as well. And even the children are so fab with him. Like every morning when I drop him off, I hear a little voice going, "Hi, Bobby."
Aw,
And he's never said it back to them. But
yeah.
every morning the kids say, "Hi, Bobby."
Yeah, I think nursery workers in particular, I know a couple of them and they work so hard.
Oh my, they're incredible.
I would
And
love to get someone that
yeah,
runs nurseries on here
yeah,
because I think they are so incredible. They don't stop. There's no half terms. It's
no.
constant.
And
And
it's
I'm
long hours as well. Like I can drop
well,
Bobby off at 7. Don't have to pick him up till 6.
yeah. Parker goes to one and they're
Does
fantastic
it-
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're absolutely brilliant. And they, the people at Bobby's nursery, like, because there's so many things you need to have in place for a disabled child starting school. It's called an EHCP,
Yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
is like a legal document. And
We've had to do it with Scarlett.
there you
Yeah, yeah.
go. And how hard is it to get?
Well, Sean, to her credit, she fought tooth and nail, and
Yeah.
that's another thing I want to touch on. If anyone's listening to this, you need to start making it easier for parents with children with autism or ADHD or neurodiversity. You've got to start making it easier because I've heard horror stories about people getting rejected, and you think, how?
How?
And the board,
Yeah.
the panel, they listen to it, and I get that we only have so many people, but Sean had to really fight.
Yeah, I did.
Make it easier for people.
Well, this is it, because it says this, I was doing it the other day. I was like, look, I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for a child that needs all this additional help. If he didn't need it, I'd rather he didn't.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously. But he does. That's the hand I've been dealt. So I'm going to play it. You are supposedly there to support me and to advise me and to help me get this, that, and the other in place. But it's like, right, so like, for instance, he went to a mainstream preschool for a year because I didn't know he'd get into a special school. He has done, thankfully,
Yeah.
but I thought he'd be going to this mainstream primary school, and they were brilliant with him. But he got to a year and they're like, look, so if we can't meet his needs, so I was like, right, fine. So we're looking at special provisions.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
said,
yeah.
yeah. She said, but Sophie, you're going to have to fight. And I was like, I'll fight anyone, but who? Who do I fight? And what do I say? Like, and it's crazy. And then I was speaking to someone on Tuesday at this seminar, and I was saying, Bobby's got his EHCP, he's going to a special school, he's got his diagnosis, all at the age of 4. I was like, I feel really lucky. And she was like, isn't that mad that you feel lucky that your child's got the basic care that he needs?
You feel lucky.
Literally. I feel blessed.
I feel so lucky that I'm getting this for my son. That I don't.
Is bonkers.
Bite your tongue.
Tell me about it.
So going back to that running, that's your therapy.
Yeah.
What's your self-care like then? You're running a business. You've got this going on in the background. I can imagine people listening to this going, wow. I'm listening to it and I'm thinking, like, I ran a business and it was hard enough. You're running a business and you're fighting and you're just trying to get answers.
Yeah.
So what's your self-care?
What is my self-care?
Bottle of Corona in a bar.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Done. Rosé generally. Very, very pale rosé is my self-care. I like to go to the gym as well as running.
Yeah.
And what I really, really like to do, but I think both Sarah and I have been really, really good at this actually, is even though we're running a business, weekends are weekends.
Correct.
And we really do.
And now this was my guilty. So I'm happy you said this. So this is where I was bad. I sacrificed Saturdays. I'd go to the office on my own.
Yeah.
I would work Saturday and Sunday. And I know there's going to be business owners here going, well, that's what you got to do. You do that. You do you.
Yeah.
I've done that. Now, after 5 o'clock at night, nothing can be fixed.
Absolutely.
I replied to an email last night at 6 because the guy wanted to know rates.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, sure.
But I used to sit there doing all sorts till 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And when Parker come along, I just point blank refuse.
Yeah.
Okay, every now and again I'll jump on and do a
Of
little bit.
course.
But on a Saturday, that's family time.
Absolutely.
The hours are long.
Yeah.
Monday to Friday.
They are.
The 5 p.m. and 5 a.m. hustle is bullshit. It's sometimes for you. How many times do you wake up and go, fuck, I forgot that?
Oh my God, so many times.
Not just with that, but with Bobby as well.
Oh my God, so much. And just the term waking up, I bet your mum's the same, any other Sen parents, sleep just doesn't exist with an autistic child either.
I remember finding my mum once in the kitchen at 3 o'clock in the morning, just having a cup of tea, and she just sat there, and I was like, you all right, Mum?
Yeah.
I think I just got in from a night out, actually.
Rosies.
I love how I'm sounding up. Yeah, probably. The Marlboro. I love how I'm sounding dead voice. I walked in like, I am.
Yeah.
And she was just like, I've got a lot in mind.
Yeah.
So there was nothing in particular. She was just deep in thought about what was going to happen to Chris, my brother. So self-care, I think, is a must.
Yeah, definitely.
But everyone's self-care is different.
It is, totally. And I don't have like, a strict regime. I like to read every now and then, although I'm not I used to be a massive reader, but now I get into bed with a book and I'm like half a page in and my eyes are going. So
we got into bed at 7:30 last night.
Oh, that's the dream.
Honestly, we just looked at each other.
Self-care.
Because my alarm goes up at 4:30 every morning.
Yeah.
And I get the gym for about 6.
Yeah.
And by the time I've finished, and everything's done. We're just sat there and we're just like, should we just go to
Is it
fucking bed?
bedtime now? Yeah.
And we went to bed at 7:30, put a film on. I was
Yeah.
asleep by 9.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the dream.
It's
Doesn't
the
always
dream.
work like that.
No.
But self-care, I think, is the most important part of a business owner's life.
Yeah,
But
totally.
it's how do you do that self-care?
Yeah, and I think, as I say, I don't have a this is what I do for my self care, but as I say, I just me and Sarah both are very much like weekends are weekends. As you say, nothing is spoiling between
No.
Friday at 5 o'clock and Monday at 8:30.
No.
Anything can wait.
3 o'clock 9 times out of 10.
Yeah,
Everyone's finished up.
absolutely.
In the
On
office,
Friday, of course they are.
fucking, all I do is get a gin or a
Yeah,
red wine.
yeah,
So, I'm gonna ask everyone this question.
yeah.
Feel free to say no.
hmm
What has been the hardest moment of your career so far?
The hardest moment of my career so
Or the
far
hardest moment since setting up business?
since setting up the business. Let me think. I mean, not none of it's been like easy,
Mm,
as in anyone else wanting to do it. I'd be like, right, really, really, really think about this.
mm.
Um, but I do feel like Sarah and I we've had a really, really good start.
Yeah,
Um,
which is rare.
it is rare, absolutely, and we don't take any of that for granted.
Mm,
We often refer to our clients as our treasured clients, and like
yeah,
that
yeah.
couldn't be a truer word because they
Perfect.
so are. I think just I guess the hardest thing is just the in recruitment and well any business owner's to-do list is just never done, is
Mm,
it? So I think it's that always on mentality. um one of the biggest push factors for me setting up the business and for me and Sarah kind of deciding to take the plunge was because I needed flexibility, like with Bobby. No, I say no employer, I'm sure there are some out there, but for a small owner managed SME, it's actually very, very difficult to give me the flexibility that I needed for my
yeah, yeah,
son, and I understand that. I really, really do.
yeah.
But because I couldn't have that flexibility, it was impacting my performance, it was impacting my mental health, my relationships at home, my relationships with Bobby. So I guess like the hardest bit of my career has actually probably come before setting up proper,
That's fine.
and proper was the cure to
That's
that.
good.
It's not easy. Of course, it's not bloody
Mm.
easy. Like
So what would you
things.
say okay,
Mm.
and if you sound like such a positive person,
Yeah,
there's gotta be a point where you're not.
yeah. Of course there is, and well,
And anyone listens to this will think, "Mate, you're trying to get out of it." I'm not. I'm
no,
just for me, it's always if you I think you would be amazing going into a business, and I think getting the best out of people in the sense of I think people would listen to you and find the 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 positives in a negative situation. I mean, how do
yeah.
you balance that?
Well, I've been in a relationship with citalopram longer than I have been my husband.
And anyone that doesn't know that, that's a
They do now.
yeah, yeah.
No, citalopram is an antidepressant, anti-anxiety
Okay,
tablet. So, I am a positive person and I try and be very, very optimistic, but I do struggle with anxiety
okay,
big time. Not so much depression, more so
yeah,
anxiety. And I do, as I say, Bobby was meant to be with me, but he has exacerbated my anxiety. I think I
mm,
had an anxious disposition anyway, and he has heightened that definitely.
yeah.
Um,
Would you say as you sat here now and you're talking about it,
mm,
do you feel clamping up when you're doing it? It's gonna sound really fucking evil, and I don't mean it the way it
no,
sounds.
no, I know what
Like,
you mean. No, I don't necessarily find it hard to talk about. I don't know. I don't know if you ever find this, but I don't want to be a burden on anybody.
trust me. So one thing I've learned in my mental health
Yeah.
struggles, and I've been very open and honest on this show about what I've been through. I will
Mm,
never hide away from that.
no.
I would rather talk about it
Yeah.
and make sure people understand what I'm going through
Yeah.
and where I've been
Yeah.
than them assume that everything's just
That I
okay.
assume. Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
I've never took antidepressants, and people have said I think it would
Yeah. Yeah.
help you. I've been up there. The doctors told me to, and other people have, and that's fine.
Mm.
Um, but I find working out really helps me in my
Oh,
mental state. In fact,
100%.
Sean will say to me, "You're not been to the gym for a day."
Adam does the same
I
thing.
know that she'll go, "Just fucking go," because
Yeah.
but it's not her being nasty. She just knows that
No.
it's my, and she's the same, not in the depressive way, but she has fell in love with the gym.
Good. It's
She
amazing.
she looks incredible. She's worked
Yeah.
her arse off. Um, I can't praise her enough for what she's
Yeah.
been
Good on
through, and
her.
now she's come out the other side. But
Yeah.
it I asked the question about what the hardest moment is, because when we talk about businesses,
Hmm.
we talk about the great stuff,
Yeah. Of course we do.
and sometimes the hardest moment is what spurs us to make a business,
Absolutely.
right? And we
Absolutely.
need to normalize that
Yeah.
as a generational thing. This shit you see on Instagram,
Yeah.
this portrayal that we see of everything's hunky dory, it is bollocks.
Yeah. I agree. That is bollocks. And I'll tell you what else is bollocks. This, like, what do they call it? A grind set.
The
Like,
mindset.
yeah.
Oh, the
So,
5 at the wake up at 4, grind,
like,
and then but
hustling 24/7 is cool and something we should all aspire to do. And if you're not doing it, then you're not working hard enough. That's
that
bollocks.
is bollocks. That is this week's bollocks motto,
Yeah.
because I've seen people on LinkedIn, certain ex-apprentice winner,
Mm,
who just, you know what, fair dues, he admits where he went wrong.
yeah.
Shut the fuck
Shut
up.
off, innit? Have a
Like,
day off.
and this is the thing, people see Instagram and Facebook, and they go, "Oh my God, I want to be like that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I want to be on the private jet."
Yeah.
Like I said in the last episode about Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, none of them became at the word about failing multiple times.
Yeah, exactly.
Embrace failure and fail hard, because it's the
100%.
best thing you can do. And fail,
Absolutely.
be prepared to fail as a parent at times as well. But
Definitely.
because it's not easy.
No, definitely not. And I have failed, big time. Of course we have. Like I've failed. Certainly, I feel like I failed as a mum at first. I certainly
Yeah.
failed as a wife at first. When we were first married in my last job, and
Was that because of the time you were spending in the old job? Is that
it
what it
was,
was? Yeah.
yeah. And I started this job, and it was a management role, and hadn't managed a team before, and I really wanted to. And I said to Adam, "Give me a year. Like this is going to be tough for a year, but I need to throw myself into it. So just give me a year." And did he give me a year? He was a fucking saint. It was over a year in the end. I think it was about 18 months. He was mum, dad.
So
He was incredible.
the way to see this is, you didn't fail. You had to learn a lesson.
Yeah.
So you didn't fail.
No, I didn't fail.
But the fact that sometimes you saying that
Yeah.
is enough to make your brain switch its mind. You switch your own mindset by
Yeah.
saying things like that. I say to
Definitely.
Sean, I failed
Yeah.
miserably last year
Yeah.
with where we were.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everyone says, "How did you fail?
Yeah.
You were raising a family, you were running
Yeah.
a business," but you don't see that at the time,
Yeah.
do you?
No, of course not. And I think as well, I think everybody is their own worst critic. Like
I
I
am.
am so hard on myself.
Yeah.
I'm so hard on myself, and it can be for the most stupid things.
I am.
But when you are actually in the thick of it, thinking, "Oh my God, like I'm not doing well in my job," which is what I set out to do.
Mhm.
I'm really, really putting a lot on my husband, and our marriage is strained as a result. I've got no relationship with my son because he
Mm.
didn't want me. Just wanted Adam for that 18 months. It was
Mm.
horrible, horrible. And like the dog, bless her, she wasn't. She was just a chore. She was like, fucking hell, I need to get the dog out, and I didn't enjoy family life.
But fast forward to now, and look at what you've. Well, if you look at what
Absolutely.
you've built, you've took everything that you've learned,
Yeah,
and you've made a business that stands by the values that you didn't want to be.
absolutely.
That is more commendable
Yeah,
than someone saying, "I went wrong and I'm still there now."
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
people should listen to that and go, "Do you
Yeah,
know what? Fuck it, I'm going to do it."
I hope so.
And what advice would you give to anyone that is looking to set up a business?
I would just I think it was on your I think someone mentioned it on a previous episode, but feel the fear and do it anyway.
Jen,
Yeah.
I mean, she said, "Buckle up."
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause it's
Buckle
true,
up.
innit? Buckle up.
Absolutely. Like it's not gonna be easy.
Well, if it was easy, everyone would do it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
But just have a go. Everything leads somewhere.
absolutely.
And something I read just before the marathon, so bricking it. Someone had put, there is no evidence that you can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is applicable to setting up a business
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well. You know, there's no evidence that you can't go and do that and
Yeah,
make
yeah.
a whopping big success out of it.
Absolutely. And the only thing stopping you from achieving what you want to achieve is your own mindset.
Absolutely, yeah.
If you wake up and you say, I can't do that, then you will not do it.
Absolutely.
I'm guilty of it.
Yeah,
And
me
these
too.
people that go, I couldn't do that. Have you tried?
Nah.
Then how do you know?
Yeah.
I just couldn't.
Yeah.
Well, what if you woke up and said, I'm going to give it a go?
Yeah.
And you were really, really good at it?
Yeah. Exactly.
Everything changes.
Everything
It's mind
changes.
over matter all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
And I always say to people that unless you're willing to actually try it, you're just going to keep making excuses.
Absolutely.
I get some people struggle with the confidence aspect, and
Yeah.
some people struggle with physically doing it because it scares the living daylights out of them. But embrace the fear.
Absolutely.
Embrace that fear.
Yeah.
Like the first time you step into a car and learn to drive, you can't drive. I
Exactly, yeah.
look at it like a child learning to walk,
Yeah.
right? A child will fall down, but get back up
Over and over.
until they finally figure out what them things
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Imagine trying something once and then saying, "Oh shit, didn't work. I'll fuck
Yeah,
it."
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not to go too deep before we
Yeah.
finish, but do you know where the richest place in the world is?
Go on.
Yes.
The richest place in the world.
Yeah, where most money in the world is.
China?
Graveyard. It's full of
God.
people who had aspirations and dreams that could not fulfill them, who were too scared to take a chance.
Ooh. Yeah.
So whenever you're feeling like you can't do it,
Yeah.
go and visit someone there.
Absolutely.
Because every
Yeah.
person,
Fucking hell.
in the fucking ground
Yeah.
wanted to do something. And I know
Yeah,
people
you
are going to
didn't
go,
do
oh
it.
my God, that's deep.
Yeah.
But that's all I ever say to myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I
yeah.
don't try it, if I don't try this podcast,
Mhm.
I'll never know.
Exactly.
All right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
finally, before we go, Sarah,
Yeah.
your business partner,
Yeah.
what's she like to work with?
She's the fucking best. We are.
Who's good cop and bad cop?
Neither of us are necessarily good and bad, but if I had to label it, Sarah's bad and I'm good.
Is she the more authoritative one? Or like, no,
Yeah.
that's what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. We are. It's really weird. We are yin and yang.
Yeah.
We are so different in so many ways, but we are so the same in so
Yeah.
many others. And Sarah, in fact, like she's one of those people that I've actually, in the grand scheme of life, I've not known her for that long. But she said, I can't remember who we were talking to, but she said something like when we met and we really hit it off like immediately. And she said to someone, you know, when me and Sophie met, I was my thoughts were, oh man, where were you when I was 5? You know, and it's like,
I think a few people will listen to this going, can I be your friend?
yeah, of course.
Can I please be your friend? Be friends.
But no, she's brilliant. We get on beautifully. We have such a laugh. Our mantra internally is friends first, always. That doesn't mean to say that there isn't friction, but good friction in the business. Of course, she has ideas, I have ideas. We've always got the same end goal. How we would go about them might be slightly different, but we will always hash it out, find a way, and we can both be completely open and honest.
And
with
that's
each other.
the most important thing. I mean, my business partner's my wife.
Yeah.
And that's had some of the most challenging moments. A few people have actually said to me, you and Sean need to do a podcast together.
Yeah, you do.
And you just both ask each other questions.
Yes.
I was like, we'll end up fucking killing each other. I'd love to get Sarah on eventually.
She's great.
I'd love to get her on and get her side of things because
100%.
and learn how she's come around this.
Yeah.
Because I'm always interested in knowing people's journeys.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are as well.
Definitely.
But well, no, I mean that's been amazing. Have you got any questions for myself?
I don't think so. There's nothing burning. Just keep doing this. It's mint. I've really enjoyed it. I was so nervous, but it's been so fun.
Yeah, good.
And thank you for having me.
You got any questions for the next guest?
Who's the next guest?
Marcus.
What does Marcus do?
Well, he has. Let's just say Marcus has completely changed his life around. He is a drug support. He's completely changed his life around. He now works support networks all across the UK for recovering drug addicts and alcoholism. Incredible.
Bloody hell! I've got so many questions for Marcus. I'd like to know what's his why? What was his wake up? What was his turning point? Because that sounds like he was in a dark place.
Yeah, he is incredible, and I'm really looking forward to it. But I'm really lucky because I've had so many guests on this show that have just been fantastic, and it's it's something I've always wanted to do, and I don't know how many people listen and tune into it. I'm not as big as the others, but on my planet, I don't even want it to be that big. I
Yeah,
just want
yeah.
to get people on who are real. So
Yeah.
I'll put that down for him to ask you.
Yeah, please do, and I'll be
Excellent.
tuning in.
Would you ever consider co-hosting an episode?
Love to.
Yeah, amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Brilliant stuff.
Cool.
Well,
Right, put
listen,
it all in the books.
yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having
And
me.
look forward to seeing you back. So, yes, everyone. So that is the end of another amazing show. Thank you, Sophie, for joining us today. I hope this has been insightful. And I think I'd like to just say, anyone that's listening to this who has gone through the same as Sophie, or is struggling, or needs support and guidance and help, please keep fighting, keep asking the questions that you feel you need. It's tough. Someone that's been through it myself, Sophie's been through it. It's not easy, but please be assured that the help and support is out there. You just need to keep fighting. Feel free to follow Sophie, follow her business page. What is it? We are proper.
We are proper, yeah. And we're on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Insta.
Yeah. Any recruitment needs required, please feel free to drop these guys a message. They are fantastic. So yeah. Okay. Well, that's another episode up over and out. Thank you for joining us, and I will see you all soon. Cheers, guys.